The night was quiet in the small town of Willow Creek. The stars shone brightly in the dark sky. Crickets chirped softly, and a cool breeze passed through the tall trees. Samuel Carter, an old man with white hair and tired eyes, sat on his wooden porch. He rocked gently in his chair, looking up at the stars. Samuel had always loved the night. It reminded him of his younger days, hunting deer in the woods, camping under the open sky, and sitting by the fire with his family. But tonight the stars seemed different. Some of them moved strangely, as if they weren't stars at all. Suddenly, a bright light filled the sky. It wasn't like lightning. It was a beam, strong and steady. The light came from a large object above the trees. The object was round and shiny, like a giant metal plate floating in the air. Samuel's heart started to beat faster. Before he could react, the beam of light came down and surrounded him. His chair shook as the light pulled him upward. His old dog Max barked loudly and ran around in circles, but there was nothing he could do. Samuel felt his body lift off the ground higher and higher, until his house and yard became tiny spots below him. Samuel tried to shout, but no sound came from his mouth. He couldn't move his arms or legs. The beam carried him into the belly of the strange ship. The light faded as metal doors closed behind him. Samuel was now inside the alien vessel. The inside of the ship was cold and smooth. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. Strange machines beeped and hummed. Samuel was placed gently on a hard, metal floor. Around him there were others, men, women, and even children. Some were crying, some were shouting, and some just stared in shock. All of them had been taken from Earth. Suddenly doors opened and several tall creatures entered. They had shiny black armor, long arms, and sharp claws. Their heads were large, with big black eyes that had no emotion. One of them, taller than the others, stepped forward. This was Commander Viral. Viral looked at the frightened humans and spoke. His voice was deep, but a small device translated his words into English. "Welcome, specimens," he said. "You have been chosen to serve the Gralthok Collective. You will help us understand your kind. Do not resist." The humans gasped. Many of them screamed and begged to be let go. But Samuel stayed quiet. He watched carefully, his old hunter's eyes studying every detail. His heart was calm, though his mind was racing. Viral noticed Samuel's calm face and walked toward him. He stopped in front of the old man and looked down at him. "You are not afraid, human?" Viral asked. Samuel looked up at the tall alien. His voice was steady and strong. "Are you hunters?" he asked. The alien tilted his head, surprised by the question. Most humans begged or cried. This one was different. "We are collectors," Viral answered. "We gather life forms for study. You will help us learn." Samuel's lips curled into a small smile. "That sounds like hunting to me." Viral's eyes narrowed. "You are simple beings. Your world is primitive. You have no power here." Samuel leaned back slightly. "You think we are simple because we don't fly between stars like you. But let me tell you something. A hunter doesn't need to fly to know how to hunt." The other humans stared at Samuel, surprised by his courage. Even some of the aliens seemed curious now. Viral's voice grew colder. "Your skills mean nothing here. You are prey. You are weak." Samuel's eyes stayed locked on Viral's. His voice was quiet but full of meaning. "You might have caught us, but you don't know us. And that's your first mistake." Viral stood still for a moment, then turned and left the room. His soldiers followed. The doors closed behind them. Samuel sat quietly again, but his mind was sharp. He wasn't done yet, not by far. The alien ship was huge and cold. Its walls glowed with strange green lights. The air smelled like metal and electricity. Commander Viral walked through the long hallway. His sharp claws clicked on the metal floor. He was the leader of the Gralthok Collectors. His job was to capture living creatures from different planets. Today they had captured humans from Earth. Viral stopped in front of one special cell. Inside sat an old man named Samuel Carter. Unlike the other humans, Samuel was calm. He was not crying or shouting like the others. He sat quietly, his hands folded on his lap. His blue eyes stared at Verl without fear. Verl stared back, feeling curious. He spoke in his deep voice, using the translator so the human could understand. "You do not fear me, old one," Verl said. Samuel smiled a little. His voice was soft but steady. "Are you hunters?" Verl paused. That was not the answer he expected. Usually, prisoners begged for freedom or screamed in fear. But this man was different. "We are not hunters. We are collectors. We collect life for study and science," Verl answered, trying to sound important. Samuel chuckled. "That sounds a lot like hunting to me." Verl's sharp teeth showed as he spoke. "No, human. You are simple. Your kind is weak. You have no spaceships, no great weapons, no power. You are nothing." Samuel leaned forward a little, still calm. "Son, I have been hunting all my life. I've hunted deer, bears, even wolves in the mountains. You know what I learned? The best hunters always watch their prey first. They study them. They learn everything before they strike." Verl clicked his mandibles in frustration. "We studied your world. We scanned it from the sky. You live in small groups. You fight among yourselves. You are not united. You are not a threat." The old man shook his head slowly. "You made a mistake. Scanning from the sky is not enough. You did not really see us. You don't understand what humans are." Verl felt annoyed now. "What do you mean, old one?" Samuel's eyes shined with a sharp light. "We are survivors. We have lived through ice ages, plagues, wars, and disasters. Bigger and stronger creatures have died, but we are still here." Verl laughed, though his voice sounded a little nervous. "You have no technology. You cannot travel through the stars like us." Samuel nodded. "That is true. But you came to us. You brought us here. You didn't think we would be ready for that, did you?" Verl started to feel a strange sense of worry. His claws tapped against the side of his weapon. "You are trying to scare me with words," Samuel smiled again. "No. I am just telling you what you missed. When you took me, you also took my grandson." Verl's eyes narrowed. "Your grandson? Another weak human?" The old man shook his head. "Daniel is not weak. He's a hunter too, but his weapon is not a gun or a trap. He hunts with computers. He understands machines." Verl suddenly felt uneasy. He opened his communicator to check the ship's systems. But something was wrong. Some systems did not respond. Some screens blinked and went dark. "What is happening?" Verl whispered to himself. Samuel watched him closely. "While your scouts grabbed people, Daniel was busy. He left a surprise inside your computer systems." Verl's communicator crackled with a loud, broken voice. Commander, we are losing control of the main system. Security fields are failing." Verl's stomach dropped. His many eyes widened in shock. "No, this cannot be." The ship shook slightly. Lights flickered. More alarms went off. Red lights filled the hallway as doors started to unlock. "You see," Samuel said softly, standing up. "You thought you were the hunters, but you never noticed the real trap." Verl stared at the old man, fear growing inside him for the first time. The ship's lights flickered. A low hum filled the air. The alien commander, Verl, narrowed his eyes. Something was wrong. The ship, which had always been smooth and quiet, now sounded nervous, almost like it was alive and scared. Verl turned to face the old man, Samuel. The human was still sitting, but his calm face was no longer weak. There was something strong in his eyes. Verl could feel it. "What have you done?" Verl asked, his voice sharp and cold. Samuel smiled, but it was not a kind smile. "You made a mistake, Commander, a very big one." The alien's claws twitched. "You are prisoners. You have no weapons. You have no army. How can you do anything to my ship?" Samuel's voice stayed calm. "You think my kind only fights with guns and ships. But war is not only about weapons. Sometimes it's about information." Verl tilted his head, confused. "Information?" "Yes," Samuel nodded. "You see, you didn't just take me. You also took my grandson. His name is Daniel. Viral felt a cold shiver run through his body. He did not like where this was going. Daniel is not a soldier, Samuel continued. He is a hacker. Do you know what a hacker is, Commander? Viral clicked his mandibles. A programmer. More than that, Samuel said. Daniel understands machines, he speaks to them, he listens to them. And while you thought you captured us, Daniel was already inside your systems. Viral growled. Impossible. Our security is perfect. No primitive can break into Growlthok technology. Samuel raised an eyebrow. You keep calling us primitive. That's another mistake you made. Suddenly, Viral's communicator crackled. The voice of one of his officers came through, filled with panic. Commander, the main control panel is malfunctioning. Our doors are unlocking. We are losing power in several sectors. Viral's eyes widened. Shut it down. Use the backups. There are no backups, Commander. The backups are also under attack. Viral stared at Samuel. The old man slowly stood up from his bench. His movements were smooth, steady, not like a weak old man, but like a hunter. You didn't study us very well, did you? Samuel said. You scanned our bodies, but not our minds. You saw our age, but not our experience. Viral hissed in anger. You think you can win? You are outnumbered. Samuel looked around the ship. He could hear the sounds now, doors opening, footsteps running, human voices shouting with courage. We may not have your ships, Commander, Samuel said, his voice firm. But we have something stronger. We have each other. Suddenly, the door behind them opened. Daniel stepped in. He was young, with bright eyes and a calm face like his grandfather. In his hands was a small control device. Hello, Commander, Daniel said softly. I've been waiting for this moment. Viral aimed his plasma weapon at the young man. His claws shook. Stay back or I will shoot. Daniel smiled. You won't. Your weapon is offline. Viral pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. The gun was dead. How? Viral whispered. Daniel answered. I learned your system while you captured us. I found your weak points. I waited. And now we control your ship. Samuel stepped closer to Viral. The alien backed away, step by step. You thought we were weak, Samuel said. But you never understood humans. We adapt, we learn, and we always fight back. All around the ship, more humans appeared, free from their cells. Some carried alien weapons now, while others helped each other move. They were not scared anymore. They were united. Viral's shoulders dropped. He had lost. His mighty ship was no longer his. The hunters had become the hunted. As the ship shook again, changing its direction toward Earth, Samuel looked at Viral. One last time. You brought us here, Commander, he said, but we're taking your ship home. Commander Viral's claws shook as the ship rocked under his feet. Red warning lights flashed everywhere. Loud alarms screamed through the corridors. His perfect plan was falling apart. The humans were no longer prisoners. They were taking over. Samuel stood in front of Viral, calm and strong. He was no longer just an old man. His eyes were sharp, filled with years of wisdom and something more dangerous. Confidence. You don't understand, Commander, Samuel said softly but firmly. You thought you were the hunter. You thought we were weak. But you never studied us well enough. Viral tried to speak, but his translator crackled with static. The ship's systems were failing. The walls vibrated as human teams moved through the ship, shutting down alien defenses and taking control of the ship's main systems. Suddenly, Daniel appeared behind Samuel. Daniel was young, full of energy, his eyes focused. He held a small, portable control pad. His fingers moved fast across the screen, sending commands through the ship's broken systems. The bridge is ours now, Daniel said. His voice was calm but full of strength. All security fields are down. Your soldiers are locked inside their quarters. Viral stepped back, still holding his plasma rifle tightly. But when he pulled the trigger, nothing happened. The gun was dead. Disabled. How did you do this? Viral asked, his voice shaking. You see, Samuel explained, my grandson is very smart. He is a hunter too, but not like me. He hunts through computers and codes. When you took me, you also took my neural chip. That chip helped Daniel enter your systems. He's been inside your ship's computer since the first day. Burl's mandibles clicked nervously. "But you are still trapped in deep space," he said weakly. "You cannot go home. You do not know how to fly this ship." Daniel smiled. "We've been learning. Your own systems taught us. Your own arrogance made this easy." At that moment, more humans entered the room. Some were engineers, some were soldiers, others were just simple people who had been captured. But now they stood strong. They were free and they were ready. One of the freed humans, a woman named Sarah, spoke loudly. "Bridge secured. We have control over navigation and engines." Another man shouted, "Weapons are offline for the aliens. All systems respond. Only to us now." Faral fell to his knees, defeated. His great ship, his powerful army, it was all useless now. Samuel walked closer to him. He looked down at the alien commander with pity but also with a strong voice. "You came to our world thinking we were easy prey. You thought we were weak because we don't fly ships like yours. But we are humans. We survive. We adapt. And when we fight back, we fight as one." Faral looked up, his eyes full of fear. "You will leave us in space? You will kill us?" Samuel shook his head. "We are not like you. We don't hunt for sport. We only fight to protect. You will be left alive. You will go back to your leaders and tell them what happened here." Daniel added, "Tell them that humans are not weak. Tell them that Earth is not easy to take." The ship's engines roared as it turned back toward Earth. The humans had full control now. For the first time since they were taken, they were heading home. Burl sat silently, his head down. The mighty hunter had become the hunted. The old man's words echoed in his mind. Never assume the prey is alone. As the stars moved outside the ship, Samuel stood tall among his people. They had survived, they had fought back, and they had won. The hunt was over.